Jai Hind everyone, my name is Kamini Tanwar. I am a faculty of AKGEC Engineering College, Ghaziabad in IT department. Today I am going to discuss a topic from the subject Programming for Problem Solving. Today's topic is conditional statement. It is a very important topic in programming C. So basically this topic is conditional statement is we also known as decision making statements. So let's start about the conditional statement. Okay, so first of all, what do you mean by conditional statement? As conditional statement are used to execute a group of statement if some condition is true. Otherwise, if condition is false, then group of statement are executed. What does it mean? Basically, conditional statement are used to take some decisions from multiple choices. Suppose we are having choices like we are having our favorite food, like we are lots of options. So that time we have to take some decision to choose a particular one favorite food from that. Or also suppose we are going for a movie and we want to choose a single movie from that. We have to watch a single movie that time again we have to take some decision. Similarly, in C programming also we are having so many statements. From that statement we have to particularly collect or choose, or we have to take some decision that time, that either we have to choose the first statement or we have to choose the second statement. So that time these conditional statements are very helpful in our programming language. Like in our daily life we are having if we are having the capability of taking decision, and our problems are very easy for due to that. So similarly in programming language also, if we are having these decision making statements, then our programming will be very easy for us, or very the complexity of the programming will be decreases. So now basically the types of conditional statements are we are having two categories. First is if statement and the second one is the switch statement. So if statements we are going to further divide into four types. We are having simple if statement, then we are having if else statement, then nested if else, nested if else, and the last one is the ladder if else. So these are the four further categorized these if statement. So we will discuss one by one these all conditional statements. Basically these are also known as the multi-way pathing or two-way branching. We can say these are divided into two-way branching or in multi-way branching. So let's discuss first what is if statement. Basically, if statement is the two-way decision making statement. Why we call it two-way decision making statement? Because we are having two choices. Means if the condition is true, then we are going to execute that particular if block. If the condition is false, then we are going to we are not enter into the particular that block if block. So as I have earlier discussed that these are of four types: simple if statement, else if statement, nested if else statement, and ladder if else. This is simple if else statement. That means we are only having if. Then in second one is if else. In if else we are always having if with else. You are not going to use a single if or single else. Whenever you are going to use if else, always we have the if associated with else or else associated with the if. And the third one is nested. That means we are using if else within another if else. Okay, then ladder if else, when there we are having multiple expressions. We are going to discuss one by one. Okay, the first one is the simple if statement. What does it mean? This is two-way decision making statement. What does it mean? That we are having if. This is a keyword. If is a keyword. Okay, you have to write this keyword in the lower case always. Then what is the syntax of the if simple if statement? First we have to write if, then we are giving to going to give some expression here. That expression can be anything that give a particular non-zero value. That means you cannot take 0 here. Any non-zero value you can take in the if statement, because whenever you take 0 here, then the expression will become the false condition, and if is always executed for the true value. That means whenever this test expression is true, then only it entered into this block of statement. That means whenever the condition will become true, then it will going to execute this statement 1. Otherwise it will come out from the loop and it will execute here. Okay, outside loop means this is the loop body. This is the body of if. How it will work? We are applying this syntax where we are using this if as a keyword. In this we are having this open and close brackets. In this bracket we are going to give some conditions. Here we are giving the test expression. The text expression for if must be true value. Then whenever the value the text expression become true, then it will enter into the loop, and the if statement body, then it will execute the particular statement. In the if block we are having multiple statements. We are not bound with a single statement here. You can give multiple statements here. You can, that means in this block of if we are having multiple statements. But important thing is, if you are using multiple statement, that time these curly braces are important, must. You have to okay, these curly braces means like this: if expression and any number of statement you want to write here, and then this open and curly brackets must be there. Okay, this is the condition. But if you are executing only single block of statement, that means we are having only suppose like this. I am writing if, then I am giving some expression here. Okay, then no need to write this curly braces, and we write this statement 1. Okay, then what will happen? If the condition is true, then automatically it will execute the statement 1. Means for in simple if statement, there is no need to put these curly braces for a single statement. But if we are going to use multiple statement, then we need to put the curly braces here. So this is one important thing. And the second one is, I have already told that here the expression must be a non-zero value. Suppose if I am taking here the expression is 0 or the condition is 0, then it will not going to execute or not going to enter in this block. It will come out from this if this if is come out from the do not enter in this block. It directly come out. And here any if there is any statement in the program, suppose we are having x statement in the program that is out from the if block, then this statement x will going to be execute. So this is the okay, so this is known as the statement blocks. Now we are having the flowchart of the if else statement. Simple, you can see this is the entry. From here you are entering into the block in this with the help of this decision. As I have we already discussed that the symbols of the flowcharts, this is the decision making symbol, decision symbol in flowchart. Here we are going to give some text expression. Then if the condition is true, in single in simple if statement we have only true, either we have false or either we have true. So here we are only one condition, that is true, and if the condition is true, then we just execute the statement block. Otherwise it will come out from the it will not enter into the statement block, and it just come out from the loop, and the other statement that will be in the program, that will going to be executed, that I have discussed. So here we are having a simple, so some points related to the simple if statement, that is, first text expression is evaluated, then the result expression. If the result expression is true, then only it will enter into the statement block, otherwise it come out from the if block. Okay, and if it come out from the block, then it will execute outer body of the loop that will present in the program. So this is the first program related to the if block. Here we are going to find an absolute number with the help of simple if statement. In this, what will happen here, this is simply we are declaring a variable n, we are entering the value of n. Here the important thing is, here we are going to just check the condition if n is smaller than 0. That means suppose I am going to take 5, so the 5 is smaller than 0. Is this condition true? That means condition is false. If condition is false, that means it will not going to execute the block of that statement. It will just come out from the loop. But if I am going to enter -5, so if -5 is smaller than 0, yes, condition true, then only it will going to execute this particular statement, that is n equals to n-1. The result will be 5. Suppose here I am entering a number that is -12, and the output will become the 12. So this is the basically functioning of the if statement. Now the second one is if else statement. This is also known as two-way decision making statement. Why we all call it two-way decision making statement? Because here we are testing the condition. If we are having two decisions, if the condition is true, then what will happen? If the condition is false, then what will happen? So here this is the syntax of if else statement. We are having if, then we just going to give some test expression if the condition is true. For if there is one important thing, if the condition is true, then only the if block is executed, otherwise the else block is executed. You can say this is the true, this is for true block, and this is for the false condition. If you are giving the true condition, then the if block executed. If you are giving the false condition, then the else block is executed. So this is the syntax. After that, this is the flow chart of if else. Like we are having the decision making block in decision making symbol. In this we are going to test the condition. If the condition is true, then we are going to execute the statement 1 block. Otherwise, if the condition is false, we are going to statement block 2. And at last, either statement true, then again we are at the end this is the stopping condition. Okay, so you can check if and else. If we are giving the test condition, then if block, if the condition is true, then it will execute it. If the condition is false, then it will be executed. So this is the if else statement. Now we will see the execution of if else statement. So what will happen in the if else statement? First we will going to test the expression. After testing the expression, what will we have to check? If the result of the text expression is true, if the result is true, the if statement block 1 inside the if will be executed. Otherwise control goes to the outside if block, outside if. Otherwise, if condition is false, then statement 2 is executed. Okay, and then it's come out from the block. So this is the execution of the if else statement. Now we are having one program related to the if else statement. In this we were going to check the number is odd or even. So for this, first we are entering the value n. Suppose we are taking suppose we are taking a value a equals to 10. Now what we have to do, we have to check either this condition is, either this value is even or odd. For that, what will happen here, we are taking the if or else statements. So in if, what we are going to give, we are going to give the condition, and condition for what? For the checking the number is even or odd. So this is the modulus operator, modulo operator. So what will the modulo operator does? It will take the remainder of the when we are applying the modulo operator, it will give the remainder. Suppose we are taking a, so we will going to divide 2 by 10, that is we are having the result 10, and what will we are having the remainder is 0. So 0 equals to 0, that means condition is true. If condition is true, that means we are going to enter into the loop. Like in if block we are having printf even number, and else block we are having printf odd number. So I have checked for the 10 is completely divisible by, means the after applying the modulo operator we are just getting the remainder 0. That means the if condition is true. If the condition is true, that means it will enter into the loop. It will enter into the loop, and whatever the statement in the loop block, if block, will be printed. So here we get the, if I am taking the value of a equals to 10, we are getting the output, yes, this one. Okay, the number is even. If I am taking, suppose I am going to take number 7, so 7 is even or odd, we will just going to check the condition. If the condition is true, that means the remainder must be 0, but here the remainder is not 0, not equal to 0, that means we will not enter into this loop. We will just come out from the here, and we are executing the else block. As I have earlier told, that if is for the true block and else is for false. So here when the condition is not true, then it will execute the else block, and the output will become the number is odd. So this is the output of this program. So you can check, if you are entering the number 62, the number is even. With the help of this condition, we just come out with this result. So this is the simple example of, or you can say simple program related to the if else. Now the third one is the nested if else. So what do you mean by nested if else? Nested if else is basically we are taking if else block is inside another if else block. Means we are having a simple if else, we are just having this if and taking the condition, then here this is the if block, and here we are having the else block. So this is the simple if else block, but we are discussing the else nested if else. So I'm just what does it mean? That within one if else we are having another if else. That means this is the if block, and in this if block we are having another if else block. Suppose this is for if, and again we are having for else. Similarly here in else block we can write this if expression. Again this block is for if block, and here we are having else block. So you can easily understand that in this if block we are having inner if block. This is the outer block, and these are the inner block. So you can just, this is the syntax. We are having if, within this if we are again the another if, means the inside block of if. Okay, now this is the inner if else. You can say this is the inner if else, and here we are having this else is associated with this if else, and this else is associated with this if. So this is a very important thing. If you are not matching these things, then you are facing a dangler problem. This is very critical problem in our C programming. If you are not matching these if and else, so every else is associated with us if. A single else you cannot use. Yes, a single if we are used, but a single else in our program, it is not allowed. So this is the basic syntax of the if nested if else. We are using another if else. Okay, so here is the flow chart of the nested if else. You can also know it is also known as the multi-way decision making statements. Why we call it multi-way? Because we are taking multiple expressions here. Before this, in if and simple if in a simple if and if else, we are having a single expression. With that single expression, we are just testing the condition. Okay, but in this nested if else, what will happen here? We are having multiple, the multiple expression here. Expression 1 test, expression 2, expression 3 test, means we are having multiple tests here. That's why it is also known as multi-path branching also. So here you can just see the flowchart. First, this is the outer text expression. If the outer text expression is true, then only it will enter into the second inner loop. Otherwise, it will execute the outer loop. This is for if. This is if for if, and this is for else, and this is further for if, and this is for here this is for else, and this is for if. This is the nested if else statement. Here the important thing is, if and only if it will enter into this entire block only on one condition. If this condition must be true. If this condition is not true, the if block will not going to be executed. It's directly come out from that loop, and the control will go to the else block. So this is very important for the nested if else. This is the program related to our nested if else. Suppose we are going to find the largest number. So we are having 3 numbers. Suppose we are having A, B, C. So if you want to check the number which one is the greater, suppose I am having 10, 30 and 20. These are the 3 numbers. Suppose and we want to find out the largest number. So what will happen? What we are going to do? We are just taking 2 number and we are doing the comparison between them. That means we are taking the if block, and in if block we are just comparing the A and B. If A is greater than B, suppose 10, I am taking 10 is greater than 30. Is the condition is true or false? The condition is false. That means it will not enter into this block. It will enter into the else block, and it will check the condition. Here what we are going to check is 30 greater than 20. Is this condition is true? Yes, this condition is true. Then only it enter here, and we will write that largest is B. That means suppose this condition is also false. If you are taking suppose I am taking here 3, I am taking like this 20 and 30. That means 20 is greater than 30. That means the condition is false. If the condition is false, then this will not enter into this if block. It will directly execute this else block. That means we will write the output as the C is the largest number. So with the help of nested if else, we can calculate the largest numbers. Here we are having the numbers. Suppose 24, 57, 46 are the input values, and with the help of this if else, nested if else, we can get the conclusion that 57 is the largest number. So now the fourth category is else if ladder. In else if ladder, basically this is also we are having multiple expressions, multiple test conditions in this. So this is the if else ladder syntax. So what will happen here? We are having if, then we are checking the condition. Here, if this condition is true, then then it will enter into this block, and statement 1, block 1 will execute, and just come out after the execution. It will come out from the loop. But if this condition suppose false, then it will just the control come here in the else if statement. Then again we will going to check the condition. If the condition is true, then we will give the output is statement block 2. Otherwise, if the condition is false, then it will, and and after the execution statement block execution, it will come out from the loop and just come out from the block of body. But if this condition is false here, it will again, the control will go to the else part, and then the last statement block 3 will be executed. So here is the flowchart. Again, we are going to give the we are checking the text expression. If the condition is true, then statement block 1 will be executed. If the condition is false, then the expression 2 will be checked. And again, if the condition expression 2 will be true, then statement block 2 will be executed. Otherwise, the else block will be executed. So this is the flowchart of else if letter. Let's see one example. Suppose we are going to check whether the number is positive, negative or 0. So for that, what will we have to do? We are just taking a number. Suppose I am taking a number 5. So sorry, I am taking a number -5. So first we are checking the condition. If n is greater than 0, that means is n is greater than 0, that means -5 is greater than 0, condition false. If the condition is false, that means it will not execute this particular statement. The control will go into the else block. Here again we will going to check the condition. -5 is smaller than 0. Yes, the condition is true. Now this condition is true, and it will enter into this loop, and the number and the statement that is written in this block will be executed, and the output will become the number is negative. Similarly, if you are taking 0, suppose you are taking 0, then we are just this here we again checking the condition will become false, and we just the control goes here in the else part, and the output will become 0. So like this it will work. And the next and the last one is the switch statement. Basically, switch statement is a little bit different from the other if statements, because in if statements we are having multiple expressions that are there. With that multiple expressions, we are going to deal with our blocks. But in switch statement, we are having a single expression or single test condition. With that single test conditions, we are going to check. We are having multiple cases. Okay, related to a single test condition, we are having multiple test cases. With that help of these test cases, we are going to deal with the switch statement. So this is the it is also known as the multiple decision making statement. So like this is the basic structure, or you can say the syntax of the switch case statements. So this is it. Here it is mandatory. If you are using switch, we are having multiple cases. So this is the default value. Basically, default is whenever you are entering some choice here and the choice is not present in the switch, then automatically the default statement will be executed. So in switch statements, what will the important thing? We are having cases, and the cases must be terminated with the colons. Here we are not going to use any semicolon or any dash or anything other than this. Here if you are not using these colon, then there will be error. Okay, and along with each case we have to use the break, because suppose we have choose case 2 and you are not applying the break is basically come out from the loop. Okay, you are using this block, and your choice is you choose the second choice, and the block of statement block 2 is executed already. Now you have to come out from the loop, then that time we are using the break. Otherwise, if you are not using the break, then what will happen? You choose suppose case 2, you choose case 2 and it will execute this statement block. Then if you are suppose this is not, you are not using this break here, then the control will go into the case 3 automatically, and statement block 3 will also executed. Okay, that's why we are using the break. Break is basically come out from the execution. It is completely come out from, suppose here we are using break, it just come out here only. So this is all about this, and we do not apply here any semicolon. Either it does not give you the error, but it will not check the conditions here if you are applying here semicolon. And some important point regarding this switch case is the case value must be int or char. That means you are using case values. You are using values. That means you are using. You can use 1, 2, 3 like this. Sorry, you cannot use like this. Suppose case, so this is allow, case A, this is also allow. But if you are going to use like this 2.3 means any floating value, this is not allowed. If you are using some string value, suppose std, anything, so this is also not allowed. Means only these two cases will be allowed. These two, you can use int or you can use character like this. These are the things that I have told you. Default value can be placed anywhere inside the loop, inside the switch. Means it is not mandatory that after all cases you have to write here the default value. No, you can, if you want to write here, then it will be okay. And yes, also break is not mandatory inside the switch. As I have told you that why we are using the break. Break is basically used to come out from the loop. If you are not using the break, there also the continuation will be happening there. That means there is no error will be seen there. After that, you can use any number of cases. That means that is, there is no limitation of cases to use in the switches. And case value can be expression consisting of constant value. Means you can use the expression here also, like if we are using a plus b, it is okay, but we have to give the value. Suppose this is 10 and this is 5, the value must be 15, or the within the cases that you are going to use. So that means the case value expression constant value. So this is all about. Here we are having the difference. You can say this else statement, you can say the multiple expression with multiple choices, but here we are having the single expression with multiple choices. The test case may be the relational or logical operators, but here the test case only the equality of operators. Okay, now the it will evaluate the integer, character, pointer, floating point, any type, but here integer and characters only present. Editing is difficult in nested because there are multiple nested if else, and there I have told that there you will see the dangling problem is the mismatching of the if else. You can see there, that's why the editing is very difficult, but here it will be easy for you. So here one example related through the switch case. Here we are just making a simple calculator with the help of switch statements. So like this, we are just, here we are taking 3 integer numbers, and here we are taking one character. The character is, we are taking the operators like plus, minus, modulo, division and multiplication. These are we are taking, these are the characters we are going to taking, and these we are going making the cases. So what will be the program here? Suppose we are entering two numbers a and b, and if I am entering one case plus, suppose I am entering or operator plus, then we are getting the output a plus b. And if I am entering the operator suppose multiplication, then we get the result a into b. This is the simple program. Here we are going to make a calculator basically here. So you can see the, we are having, these are the switch case. Switch, in switch we are passing the operators, means from here we are entering the operator, whatever the operator you are going to enter, that may be plus, minus, modulo, division and multiplication, whatever the operator you are going to enter, that will come here. Suppose I am taking the multiplication operator here, then what will happen here, it will check the cases on what case the modulo operator will be present. Then that means the case is here, so it will come here and just execute this particular code and come out from the, and with the help of this it will come out from the block of the switch. Suppose rather than this plus, means we are having plus, minus, multiplication or division, these are cases, and you are entering this modulo operator here, then what will happen, it will just directly, it will check the cases. If the modulo case is present here, then that will execute, but if the modulo is not present, that it will directly execute the default case. So we are getting the output invalid operator. So this is the simple output of this program. We are entering 6 and 5 two values, and we are enter the multiplication operator, then the multiplication case will be executed and it will come out from the loop. So with the help of, suppose you are not taking this break here, then this will also executed. You can check, you can evaluate or execute this program on the compiler also. So these are the references, book references, if you are going to going through or you know, you if you are want to more detail about this topic, so you can go through with these books. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you. Jai Hind.